In my opinion, there are 4 things support conversations have to achieve in order to become the worst support conversations ever. Be a regression to its characters, be insulting to its characters, be inconsistent with the plot, and characters don't gain absolutely anything from them. These 4 points go against everything I believe a support conversation should be, and I thought Shadows of Valentia for the most part avoided them, until I read Claire and Gray's support. Now of course, as always I have to say, I'd have nothing against Gray and Claire. Personally, I don't like the ship, but if you like them, that's fine, I don't care, you can like them, but you have to understand all ships have pros and cons, and you have to be open to criticism. After all, ships are based on personal points of view. Some people like some things, some dynamics, and some people won't. When it comes to shipping, I think it's always healthy to hear what other people with other mindset think about your ship. And for the most part, my problem with Claire and Grey is just how, as an idea, it kinda works, it has something nice building up, but at the end they just grab everything they build and throw it out of the window. Let me explain why. See, my main problems with the ship begin in the second support conversation. In it, Grey approaches Claire and declares, "I love you, woman. I love you with a burning passion. You're the woman I've fallen for." Let's ignore for a moment that he doesn't know her well enough to be saying those things to her, like what the fuck. And then Claire comes and says in the most wonderful way, "You don't love me, you want me," which is basically the PG way of saying you just want to fuck me, and I won't put up with that. And then proceeds to give Grey the most beautiful verbal owning I have ever seen in the history of the franchise, making herself respect as a woman, as a person, and putting Grey as a disgusting sack of shit in its place. It's wonderful. You cannot do this to a person. As I said before, he doesn't know Claire well enough to be saying those kinds of things to her. It's obvious he's just using slick tactics to get a woman in bed with him, which is what he wants. He just wants Claire in bed with him, and she noticed. Guys, women notice when you do this. They know when this is your intention. Never, and I mean never, do this to a woman. No person will ever agree to do this with you, and if they do, well, I hate to tell you, but one day a guy better than you will come and do the same thing to her, and she will walk away with him, leaving you alone. So don't think this will get you an eternal wife. At this point, what should have happened in their ace supports, it's Grace coming and saying to Claire, "Claire, look, I'm sorry I spoke out of line, I was disrespectful to you as a person, and I sincerely apologize. Please, let me start over and let me show you I can be a better person." Sounds pretty nice, doesn't it? He doesn't give up his feelings for her, but he learns his lesson and asks for a second chance, which hey, we all deserve. I'm sure Claire would have gladly given him another chance if he had asked for it. It would have been a solid A+ support with a good message for people. But instead, we get this support conversation where Claire ditches her previous statement and goes, "Oh, that moment? I was just angry because the man I love turns out loves another woman. I just unleashed my anger on you." And Grace still goes, "I still love you!" And Claire admittedly, she says that he didn't learn anything. But still, she rewards him with a, you know what, I'll give you a chance. Like, what? I'm sorry, but this is unacceptable. Claire was 100% correct when she said that, frustration or not. She was right. Grey just wanted to fuck her, and he should have understood her point. It seems to me he got it at first, but now it turns out he didn't. So why should Claire reward him with a chance for allowing said fucking to happen? This is awful writing. Going back to my points I made at the start of this video, I think this support does 3 of them. It regresses their development as they go back to point 1. Just now Claire maybe gives him a chance because, I don't know, she's horny or something. Being insistent with a person does the trick, I guess. It's insulting to both of them as Claire will know better to respect herself. And Grey is a little bit brash, but he's not stupid. If he knows he fucked up, he'll rectify that mistake and will seek to improve for Claire and show her his feelings are legit and not just a dick hard-on of the moment. And in the end, no one learned a damn thing, no one gained anything. Enjoy your happy ending. Why? Who knows? Because guidance says so, even though we don't understand why it says so. Now, of course, I have to be straight with you and say I do not like this ship, because I think its main stick is if you're persistent and constantly go, do you love me? Do you love me now? How about now? And now? To a person that they will eventually give in that person and be their eternal lover forever, which I think is total bullshit. If you want a person's affection, you have to earn it, you have to work for it. And going, do you love me? Do you love me? And now, and now, and now, and now, it's not doing it. It's not going to do it. You're just going to annoy that person and you will look desperate, which you are if you're doing this. And it's made worse for both of them, as the game frames it as the only reason Claire even considered giving a chance to Grey is because she realized she wasn't going to get anything with Alm. I can assure you, if Alm and Celica were not a Fitz thing, I can assure you, Claire will be singing a very different tune. By Grey and Tovin's own admission, they seem to be under the impression that Alm and Claire just get along surprisingly well, and seeing their support, you can see that. You can see how naturally it flows, how flawless it goes. They have a fantastic chemistry together. They balance each other well. And I think maybe they do it a little bit better than the writers expected. The following part, it's a bit of a speculation on my part, so don't take it too seriously, okay? But to me it seems that Claire and Grey as support, it's an attempt to kill the chemistry between Alm and Claire. By having Claire be heartbroken by Alm's affection for Celica so she can be focused on Grey. Think about it, why even bring it up at that moment? It's irrelevant to their situation. I think it's a very lazy attempt to set back them on track and have Claire and Grey be a thing again so they can respect Gaiden. But it's done so badly, so half-assedly, I think it backfires horribly for both characters. It leaves one of them as a dumbass and the other as a hypocrite. I think they should have been sincere with it. I mean, just have Grey understand he made a mistake, ask humbly for forgiveness to Claire, and be given another chance. It would have resounded much better for their characters, and it would have boosted their endings tremendously well. Moments like this make me think that this game should have had multiple endings, multiple pairings like the old games. It would have made things a lot more easier. And if you come and say to me, oh, but they need to have Alm and Celica marry so they can unite Valencia. I am fairly certain there have been unions of states in history that did not require two people to marry. I am pretty sure that has been the case. Grey's already a person who strives to become better at everything, so really having him make a mistake to the woman he loves, learning from that mistake and trying to rectify it to show that woman that his feelings are sincere, I think that would have sounded a lot better for them. I don't like this ship, but if that had been the way they approached the situation, I would have enjoyed it and liked it a lot, honestly. It's a shame that Team 8 has inherited many of Awakening and Fate's horrible ways to develop a romance. They still have a long way to go if they want to achieve the classic Fire Emblem experience. A long way to go.